All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight that took place last night in the sport of boxing between Sebastian Fundora and Chordale Booker, a PBC event that we've seen take place at the 154-pound division. So, Sebastian Fundora successfully retained his WBC and WBO world titles against Chordale Booker, knocking him out in the fourth round last night in the sport of boxing to retain his unified titles at this 154-pound division. So my thoughts on the fight, I thought Sebastian Fundora looked really good against Chordale Booker. Offensively, he looked really well for someone that took a year off from the sport of boxing. I mean, he used his reach advantage. I mean, it was a big reach advantage that he had. I think he had at least 8.5 inches of reach advantage to his advantage. Also led with the jab last night, fought well on the inside, landed some powerful uppercuts, established the power in the earlier rounds before he did get the fourth round knockout. I mean, before he even landed the fourth round knockout, he landed the knockdown in the fourth round on Chordale Booker, who's already busted up, nose bleeding, and looked like he was fighting for survival at that point of the fight. And then when Sebastian Fundora smelled blood in the water, he went to go ahead and finished off Booker by the end of round 4. The referee waved it off, and Sebastian Fundora had a really good outing and his first successful title defense as the WBC and WBO world champion at the 154-pound division. So Sebastian Fundora, I thought he looked really good, and I thought Chordale Booker fighting on the back foot was truly a mistake as the fight was going on. Even though the fight only lasted 4 rounds, I knew early on if the game plan was for him to fight off the back foot, it was going to be a long night in the office for him, and he was in danger of getting himself knocked out. Because you have to have some type of game plan for fighting what some call a cheat code, and somebody that is 6'5" and able to cut to 154 pounds in the sport of boxing. Sebastian Fundora, you gotta, I think, a ingredient to beat him, you would have to fight on the inside, probably establish your power, establish your will, and probably go downstairs to the body to slow him down offensively. I didn't see any of that from Chordale Booker last night. And he had nothing to make Sebastian Fundora respect his boxing abilities or his power as the fight went on. Once I saw Sebastian Fundora rock Chordale Booker in the third round and his legs were buckled, he was a little wobbly, got stunned and dazed, I knew Sebastian Fundora smelled blood in the water and he was going to go for the finish. And that's what happened a round later. Scored the knockdown and then got the fourth round knockout victory. So Sebastian Fundora, he looked really good, taking a year off. I know that he wanted to get the fight, the money fight that he was looking for when Earl Spence stepped in the ring last year after Sebastian Fundora defeated Tim Tszyu to win those vacated WBC and WBO titles last spring, but the fight never materialized and dates kept getting pushed back, and we haven't seen Earl Spence in the ring since he got dismantled and dominated by Terrence Crawford nearly 2 summers ago. So that's one of the reasons why Sebastian Fundora was out. He was banking on that Earl Spence money fight, but never got it. But for someone that took a year off, I mean, Sebastian Fundora looks like a true cheat code. He's a powerful puncher, fights well on the inside. Hard for someone to take it's going to be hard for somebody to scrap and claw those titles away from Sebastian Fundora because he's got a jab that he can lead offensively, a huge reach advantage for someone that's 6'5". He's a giant. It's going to be hard because if you try to fight on the inside, all he has to do is just poke his long arms and hit you with a stiff jab to keep you off of him offensively. So it's going to take a special fighter to figure out that cheat code against Sebastian Fundora, but I really am proud of his performance last night, getting Booker out of there within 5 rounds, or within 4 rounds. So what's next for Sebastian Fundora? I think there's plenty of options for Sebastian Fundora. What's next for him in his boxing career? I think he should get back into the ring as soon as possible, possibly by summer, to have another big title defense. Was just successful in his first title defense against Chordale Booker this Saturday. But there's plenty of options for him. He could fight Alexander Zayas. That would be one hell of a fight. Virgil Ortiz Jr., I think that's the biggest fight to be made at the 154-pound division right now. Bakaram, if I said his name wrong, I apologize, but he's the reigning defending IBF heavyweight champion. But this division, this 154-pound division could heat up because you have Sebastian Fundora, you have Virgil Ortiz, you have Xander Zayas, You had Tim Tszyu, Keith Thurman, and whenever Earl Spence is ready to return back to the sport of boxing, he'll be there in that division as well. Same with Jermell Charlo, who could be returning to the sport of boxing very soon. And also keep in mind that Terrence Crawford does have that WBA title at this 154-pound division, but it's looking like he's going to vacate the title because he's moving up to the super middleweight division to fight Canelo Alvarez and what could be an undisputed championship fight in September. So this division is a division that could easily heat up. And you also have Israel Madrimov, even though he lost his last 2 fights, but I still think he's one hell of a fighter at this 154-pound division. So this is a division that could easily heat up. The names are there. The big fights are there. The title unification fights are there. There could be somebody that could collect that vacant WBA title if Terrence Crawford moves up, or once he does move up. I don't think he has any indications of ever fighting at 154 again. There is a lot of things to look forward to, some big fights to look forward to. And I think this is going to be a division to keep your eye out for 2025 with Sebastian Fundora holding 2 out 4 of the prestigious titles. Could line himself up with a unified fight, or we could see the best of the best still rumble against each other. But I got to say, this is a division that's going to be a lot of fun to look forward to as the year goes on. But that is my Sebastian Fundora and Chordale Booker fight summary from the fight that took place last night in the sport of boxing.